Animal taming is one of Ultima Online's most iconic and rewarding skills, but also among the slowest to train, particularly at the start. This guide provides a structured and efficient path to raising animal taming from 0 to 120, while offering added context for new players who may be unfamiliar with the taming system and its role in the game. To get started with animal taming, the most efficient way is to create a new character and set the skill to 50 during character creation. This lets you skip some of the slowest early skill gains and provides a strong head start. If your character is already created, consider using a soul stone, available as a veteran reward, to transfer the taming skill from another character on the same account. While this might seem like a workaround, it can save many hours of slow progression, especially for an established character who may already have invested in skill and stat power scrolls. If neither of these options are available, you can still purchase around 30 skill points in animal taming and animal lore from an animal trainer NPC. These trainers are typically found at stables across the world. For convenience, look for stables located near banks. Scarabray is a particularly good choice. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing. Before discussing how to increase taming to 120, I want to provide some key information about using the skill and pet management. To tame a creature, you must be within 3 tiles of it without obstructions and target it with the skill. You can move up to 10 tiles away during the taming attempt, but if the creature loses sight of you or gets injured, the attempt fails and the process must start again. Some tameable creatures are aggressive, and bards can use peacemaking to temporarily stop them from attacking. Another option is the honor virtue, which has a similar effect but lasts up to 5 minutes and must be rebuilt after use. Of these, peacemaking remains the simplest and most reliable method for safely taming aggressive creatures. The equipment you wear during taming can also influence your effectiveness. Avoid armor with reflect physical damage, as it may harm your target and interrupt the taming process. Instead, wear armor that boosts hit point regeneration and increase, and includes damage eater properties matched to your target's damage types. For example, select cold and energy eater gear for taming a Kusidhi and fire and physical eater gear for a greater dragon. If necessary, weaken pets by reducing their hit points, making them slower and easier to control, and use orange petals to protect against poison. Animal taming is not a standalone system. It is part of a broader playstyle centered around controlling pets in combat. Tamers are highly effective in player versus monster scenarios and can solo high-end content with properly trained pets. This is why taming is so popular and an expansive feature of the game. The core skills necessary for success include animal taming, animal lore, which improves control chance, and veterinary, for healing and resurrecting pets. Magery Greater Heal can be used as a replacement or complement to veterinary, as well as spell weaving Gift of Renewal for pulse healing, and a bard can also keep a pet alive with peacemaking or provocation mastery buffs. However, veterinary consistently heals and cures pets through bandages, and resurrects the pet if it has been bonded. Animal lore is a critical skill for any tamer and is relatively easy to raise. You can train it actively by using the skill directly on a tamed pet, or passively as you tame animals or use veterinary. If your server allows AFK skill macroing, raising animal lore should be straightforward. The core animal taming skills can be incorporated into a variety of powerful builds, such as the Archer Tamer, Necro Tamer, or Bard Tamer, all of which are highly effective when properly set up. Understanding bonding is essential for new players. A freshly tamed pet cannot be resurrected if it dies. You must bond with it first by feeding it, waiting 7 real-time days, then feeding it once more to complete the bond. Once a pet is bonded, it can be resurrected and will not vanish upon death. A pet bonding deed is also available for purchase from the Stone Exchange. If purchased through vendor search, the listing will show either how many days remain before bonding is possible or whether it is ready to bond. Controlling pets relies on both your animal taming and animal lore skills. Commands can be issued through the context menu or by typing phrases such as, "All follow me," "All guard," or "All kill." To make pet control more efficient, it's a good idea to create macros that yell these commands. This helps you quickly regain control if a pet becomes distracted or moves too far away. These commands also have tactical uses. For example, you can use them to split up groups of enemies. Start by commanding your pet to follow you, then draw the attention of a mob so it targets either your character or your pet. Once you've lured the group a short distance, move to a safer location and switch your pet to guard mode. During combat, focus your pet's attacks by using the all-kill command on the enemy with the lowest hit points. Switching between guard and follow as needed will help keep your pet engaged and responsive in battle. Pet control chance, which is the percentage chance that a tamed pet follows commands, is determined by animal taming and animal lore skill levels, as well as a pet's current loyalty. Loyalty naturally decreases over time as they become hungry and are repeatedly given commands. Pets with low loyalty or insufficient control chance may disobey, so maintaining a high animal lore skill and feeding them occasionally is critical. Some mobs use discordants, such as satyrs, which temporarily reduces taming and lore, thereby lowering your effective control chance. Keep in mind that as your animal taming and animal lore skills increase, so too will the number of pets you are allowed to store in a stable, which is a consideration if you plan to collect or train many pets. Alternatively, a pet leash is available to shrink and unshrink pets at any time outside of dungeons. But make sure the pet's loyalty is at 100% first, or it may remain in statuette form. Now that I've covered the foundational information for animal taming, let's look at how to raise the skill from 0 to 120. Progression is achieved through repeated taming attempts on animals that fall within a specific sweet spot of difficulty, challenging enough to gain skill, but not so difficult that taming fails too often. To identify suitable animals, players can use tools like the Crystal Ball of Knowledge, taming charts, or online control chance calculators. Alternatively, you can simply follow the step-by-step guide I'm about to outline. My recommended taming progression from 0 to around 50 starts with training at an NPC stablemaster until you reach skill level 30. From there, move on to taming cows and sheep in the Jellum bullpens, which are effective from skill level 30 to 45. After that, continue with hinds and timber wolves between skill levels 45 and 60. These animals are commonly found along the northeast and northwest coasts of New Haven City. Of course, if you've used a soul stone to transfer 50 points in animal taming, you can skip the earlier steps entirely. After taming an animal, it is advisable to either rename and release it to keep track of progress or kill it. Releasing and then killing tamed animals helps new targets respawn more quickly. If you encounter a skill gain wall, check that your total skill cap has not already been reached. Using Scrolls of Alacrity during guaranteed gain windows can significantly speed up early training, and a specific Taming Alacrity scroll can be acquired via the Cleanup Britannia reward system for 1,000 points and lasts 15 minutes. To train from skill level 60 to 75, target walruses and polar bears found on Dagger Isle, also known as Ice Island, near the Dungeon Deceit. From 75 to 85, continue training on snow leopards, which are also found on Dagger Isle. Finally, to reach skill levels beyond 90, focus on taming great hearts. These creatures are abundant in the areas surrounding New Haven. Once you reach 90 animal taming, training becomes much faster. Skill masteries are an alternate method for progression. To begin the mastery process, you will need an animal taming mastery primer, any volume will work, and a book of masteries. Primers drop from champion spawns and peerless bosses or can be purchased from other players, with volume 1 often given away for free. After consuming a primer, switch to the animal taming mastery and activate the combat training ability. To train, simply target one of your pets with combat training and ignore the subsequent pop-up menu. The action itself is sufficient to trigger potential skill gains. Because combat training consumes mana, use gear with high mana regeneration and consider adding meditation to increase uptime. Combat training can be set to a macro or repeating script all the way to 120 or a character's skill cap. Although this guide primarily focuses on skill gain, it is important to note that you can further train and customize pets. At that point, you can allocate stat and resistance points, add special abilities, and turn even a simple tameable into a powerful, specialized hunter. Training animal taming takes patience and a methodical approach, but the rewards are well worth it. With the right knowledge, tools, and strategy, you will not only save time but also gain access to one of the most flexible and powerful playstyles in Ultima Online. For players who enjoy long-term progression and solo capability, taming remains one of the best investments in the game.